Hey guys, I'm Steven. I'm gonna be 21 years old this Sunday. I just want to thank, first of all of you your for your support and for all the birthday wishes and just your overall support in general. It's been incredible. 21 years, and I just feel so proud of myself, uh, and it's just amazing the support so far. Um, 21 years. 21 years has been a huge journey of mine. It hasn't been easy. I had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. And one of the biggest trials was living with Aspergers syndrome. Aspergers syndrome is a mild form of autism that affects social your social interaction with people, um, and your processing of information as well, and that's what I have particularly. I was diagnosed when I was 3 years old, and ever since then, social social interaction has been a very big challenge of mine, and it's been like that since I start school all the way to where I am now. Now that I'm a junior at Cal State San Bernardino, the starting from the beginning, before I had Asperger's, I was the type of child that would not talk much. I was always playing by myself, and I didn't really have that social interaction with people because I was always comfortable with myself, and it was just I just didn't know how to like interact with other people, and I would play with puzzles and do things on my own, and I remember like playing card games on my own, making up card games and all that, um, and every time I try to go interact with someone, it'll always be troubling. I remember one time learning to uh, learning to take turns, because I remember one time there was a kid that was trying to play a game, and I was always skip his turn, then I would go, and then I one time it got so extreme to the point where I just pinched his cheek, and it was something that wasn't appropriate at the time, but that was who I am. Uh, and I had to learn all these things, and my parents my parents really worked hard and dedicated their lives to support me. But it was not only my parents, but it was my sister who did a lot of the a lot of the support. Um, as I was growing up, she always intervened and helped me out with interacting with people, and I gotten better, surprisingly better, and it was a journey to get to that point. Um, as I grew up, uh, I went to a lot of special schools, and the first school I went to was first it was Christ the King, but I remember the most was Big Springs. Big Springs in particular gave me one of the greatest support systems ever for growing up, because they allowed me to interact with people and learn some of the social things, and I think without that, I wouldn't be where I am today. And and I gained one of my closest friends, Derek, and he has helped me so much. He has helped me so much with that support as well. to improve my social skills, and he still does that today. And it's just incredible. He's just an incredible best friend, and I just give him a special thanks. And um, he's just one of the greatest people you'll ever meet, ever. Um, the during that time in Big Springs, I done a lot of presentations, and these presentations were on topics and stuff. And it wasn't even about doing the presentation or anything. It was mostly um, it was mostly the fact that I gained those presentation skills that gave me that confidence of like I can interact with people, and this and and with this I feel like I can. Um and just gave me that. And after doing all those presentations, I became a big star. I gained A's in every single presentation, and it wasn't really about the A's, but it gave me that respect. Um, which is another important point. A lot of my life, I've done pretty extreme things. Um, the biggest thing I would say so far is being part of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, which is one of the greatest risks I've done so far. But it allowed me to grow as a person. And gain that respect from people. That's how I made a lot of my friends, and that's what I always say to people. Like it wasn't me. It was my respect level. And not only my respect level, I give it all to God, because God is number one always in my life. But of course there were some times my faith was weak. But going from Big Springs and doing all those presentations to allowed me to have that confidence, and that was like my first time having that confidence. Um, going from Big Springs, jumping to uh, Redlands Christian School. Redlands Christian School was a Christian middle school that I went to when I was in the 7th and 8th grade. Um, I went there, and it was really tough for me, and of course, and luckily enough, all the teachers that were there gave me that support of with the classes, and making sure that I'm comfortable. And I give them all the love for that. And if you're out there, I thank you. I thank you, all the teachers, and not only the teachers, the people that I met there. If you're out there watching this video, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because without you guys, I wouldn't be here today. And that goes with all of you. And I'll get to that in a second. Um, so so being in that school, um, I was mostly a kid in the books. Um, I was always in the books. I didn't really have a chance to interact with people that much, because I was kind of uncomfortable doing that. And it's always been an issue. But uh, but um, but it but I did take some risk of trying to make friends. And I remember going to that Washington D.C. trip, and meeting one of the nicest people in the world, and and uh, learning from the people, learning about my classmates there, and getting to know them more allowed me to make those friendships. And that was the greatest thing I ever did. And now they're one of my closest friends now. Um, I think looking back at Redlands Christian School, uh, it was a big journey. Um, it was a big journey, and it was my first. And I think it was the first school that I actually had one of my biggest challenges as far as trying to make friends and try and get to know them, learning their names and stuff like that. Now middle school was a big impact on my life, but I think high school made the biggest impact on my life before college, because of the fact that I started student leadership. Um, when I look back at my high school years, I always think of that student leadership, because if it wasn't without that, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I met one of the and in high school I met one of the most influential people in my life. And one of the people that I want to start out with was Andrew Stewart. If you're out there watching this video, I just want to say, without you, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I do remember you telling me, go out and run for ASB. If I haven't done that, I want to be an alpha. I want to be doing all these things like village council and things like that, things of that nature. Um, and running for ASB, it gave me the respect, the it gave me the confidence, and it gave me a sense of identity when I went to school. And that sense of identity allowed me to get over some of the obstacles of Asperger's syndrome and myself. And gaining that respect allowed me to make a lot of meaningful relationships with people. Um, and I think that was one of the greatest things. And I still deal with it today. And yes, I made a lot of friends in my life, gaining respect from being part of all these organizations. Um, but the thing that I always struggled with was trying to find myself and my identity when it came to like my future and my 5-year plan. And um, I think one of the most influential people for my career was Mr. Norman, one of the most influential math teachers I ever had in my life, ever, because he 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 encouraged me to actually major in math, and I will never forget that, because without him I wouldn't be here today, and that goes with all of you, and I'll get to that too. Going back to high school. Because of Mr. Norman, that was like my first career relationship interaction, and that's what I'm trying to achieve with um, some of my professors. But again, like, I don't have my sense of identity, and that's one of the points I'm coming across. I know you guys are all struggling as well, but with me, it's like, it's important for me because it gave me that confidence, and so in that way I can serve you guys and create a better community, my community better, this world better. And that's one of the things that is so important to me. And very 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 important to me because I feel fulfilled if I do something for my community and that I contribute something that is significant and meaningful. And that's my ultimate drive being in this world. And that and that's what I've always been about ever since I've been 21 years old. Ever since the 21 years. Um, Now after after high school, graduating, being there, I remember I remember graduating, how many friends I made, and but I just looked and I just thought in high school would be the same, but it wouldn't be. I remember sitting I remember sitting in front of the computer, filling out a college application. I was I was sitting I was sitting with my parents, and they told me that I had Aspergers syndrome. Now I didn't know this until I was 18. And when they told me, I didn't want to believe it. I didn't accept it because I measured my social success with the amount of friends that I had, the things that I did in school. But it'll get deeper in a second once I talk about college. When they told me that, I didn't want to accept it, like I said. And and of course, I always thought I was normal all my life. So then I was saying, like, so how could this be? Um, so of course, jumping forward, college has it has been a problem, and it's been a problem ever since I came into college. Now I'm considered an adult with Asperger's syndrome. Yes, being completely oblivious and not accepting the fact that I had Asperger's syndrome. I done one of the greatest things. I accomplished one of the greatest things in the world, as far as, well, to me, being part of Village Council, being the president of the council, um, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, and being one of the part of the national organizations over the Divine Nine and PHC, or the National Panahelic Council. Um, all these things I've done gave me that respect. But to this point, it's it's been one of the most lonely places I've ever been in. I If I were to describe it, even though I went out to places and went out to, like, programs and met so many influential people at school and the fraternity, um, I still had that sense of, I felt lonely. I still feel that way, and I would describe it as, seeing this room in front of the camera here, you know, one, just feeling like I'm in a social cell, and I hope after this video I'll feel liberated, and I hope you guys understand that. The reason why it's so lonely, because I just I just don't have that sense of identity yet. And at the same time, I don't really, I feel like I only made superficial friends, and because of that, it's a result of me not being confident in myself with social interacting. Every day, I'll ask myself, why. I'll ask myself why my life is this way. Um, why have I done all these things, but then I don't feel like I'm part of anything? Um, of course, Cal State San Bernardino gave me so many tools and things of that nature, and allow me to grow up. And also, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated has given me one of the greatest tools in life, and has given me insight of who I was, and what I can achieve in my capabilities. Instead of looking at the fact that I had Asperger's syndrome and putting myself down. And moving on to that, I hope that I be free from this. Free from this loneliness, because I shouldn't feel this way. I mean, God wants me to be happy, not sad. Like, and conclusion, that's the whole reason why I'm making this video, because I want you guys to understand me and my journey. I hope that everyone that is out there that's watching this video understands what I'm going through right now, and that they understand, and that hopefully you guys get to know me better, and we can create a better relationship, because I love each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. You guys have supported me from the day I was born to the day that I'm 21 right now. And that's one of the greatest gifts you ever gave me. It's not materials. It's not about what was given to me itemized. It was about you guys supporting me and loving me. And you guys are one of the greatest people, and I also hope that the people that don't really talk to me much, and I try to talk to them, and I know you guys are out there, that we get to know each other better, and that I make a better effort, and that we make a better relationship and a better bond, because I really want to connect to you guys, and I really want to make a difference in the community, and to myself, that I can overcome this Asperger's syndrome, and that I can live with it, and that I can accept it, and that I find that identity. And the people who have Asperger's syndrome don't feel like you can't do anything. In fact, think of Asperger's syndrome as an advantage, because there's so many things that you don't realize that Asperger's syndrome allows you to do, Um, it has allowed me to be a great mathematician. It has allowed me to it has allowed me to make smart decisions, and it has allowed me to um, embrace embrace loneliness sometimes. But I want to change all that. And and I know, and I feel you that having Asperger's syndrome isn't fun because you feel isolated. You don't. You feel like you can't make any friends. You feel like you can't create those important relationships um, for your career or just in general, just making relationships. I'm telling you right now, the people who have Asperger's syndrome out there, that there is hope, and I want to be that hope, and that I believe in you guys, and everyone out there in the world. Let's learn to accept Asperger's syndrome, and let's learn to work together to make this world more beautiful than it is. And let's let's make that possible by increasing autism awareness and creating the resources that not only children with Asperger's but also adults with Asperger's syndrome. Yeah, yeah, and that's ultimately what I want to do. And if I do that, I'll feel fulfilled. I want to thank. I want to give a special thanks again for the influence in my life to my parents, Derek, Andrew Stewart, and my sister Autumn. And congratulations on graduating, and happy 22nd birthday as well. Um, I just want to tell everybody out there that has met me or interacted with me that I care about them a lot, and that I really do want to get to know you more, and that I really do want to make a difference, and I hope we can work together on this. And it's the people who have Asperger's syndrome or who do not know or who's living with it right now, there is hope. And I care about you as well. So so I hope I hope you got to know me more, and I want to thank you for listening, and thank you for all that you've done for me for 20 years so far. Um, Looking towards the future, and the future is right. Um, I'll leave you. I'll leave you with my own quote, which is the point where you want to give up is the point where you're going to win the race. Thank you.